Okay, I want to show you a connection in this whole FTX scandal that the media isn't talking about. And all this is done on purpose because we know the media is corrupt. They're all in bed with the deep state. They're in bed with the Democrats, the Rhino Republicans. And something like this, if it were to come around under a Republican that was a MAGA guy or Donald J. Trump, it'd be all over the news. And this is what's frustrating about the fact that all this information has to get out through the way we're doing it now is through social media because they're hiding everything. I talked about the other day about how we have absolute crimes that connect the current resident of the United States with his son on a laptop. Undeniable crimes. It's out there. You can go in the deep net and you can find it. But yet, instead of appointing a special prosecutor like they should, they do appoint a special prosecutor, but it's for Donald J. Trump. Now, we could sit here and debate with the lefties about how President Trump is a criminal. All I'll say is this: the man has been investigated for 7 years and they cannot come up with a crime yet. Even the recent fake warrant that they got on him showed that it was a political ploy. Washington Post had to come out and admit now because they got a leak because the Republicans have taken over the House and they wanted to get in front of this. The leak was they couldn't find a crime on that. So what do? They go appoint a special prosecutor now to investigate further the alleged warrant and to investigate more of the January 6 BS, which we just saw a whole year of. And of course, again, they found nothing except they arrested innocent Americans. Some committed minor crimes, but they arrested them, they're keeping them in jail, and they use this as a ploy to continue to go after President Trump. But I want to get into this real quick. I don't want to make this a long video. I want you to see that all these criminals are connected, that everything within Washington, D.C., the corrupt deep state, and all these people who are going after President Trump are all connected one way or another. And this goes to the FTX scandal. By now, many have heard about it. It was used as a money laundering operation in Ukraine. Not specifically just for that, but they used it as a money laundering operation. The Democrats and some Republicans would send our taxpayer money to FTX. Would send it to Ukraine. Ukraine would then invest in FTX, and the founder of FTX would then donate that money back to Democrats, Republicans. We now have proof that some Republicans on the Hill, which was Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, received money back in donation forms from FTX to run against MAGA Republicans. That is undeniable right now. And then they want to go and blame President Trump for not getting them over the hump, which in fact is a total lie, because another video that I did, I also showed you that Republican votes came out over 5 million more than Democrat votes. If you didn't see that video, go back and check it out. We actually did have a red wave, and why we didn't win as much as we did is up to speculation. Now, here's the connection, okay? I just told you how a bunch of Democrats, a bunch of Republicans sent that money to Ukraine. Ukraine then funnels it back to these people, and they get super PACs that go against Republicans, right? Now, this is why they have to put the nail in the coffin of Donald J. Trump. The director of the SEC's enforcement division, so the person who's supposed to go after FTX, is Melissa Hodgman. Who's Melissa Hodgman, you ask? Well, she is the wife of former FBI agent Peter Strzok. That's right, Peter Strzok, the same guy who investigated Donald J. Trump. Do you remember the guy that was having the love affair and they got all the texts going back and forth? Well, there it is. That is the wife of former FBI agent Peter Strzok. And if you look into who Melissa Hodgman is, she is also someone who was promoted within the SEC to stop all investigations against the Clintons. Do the search yourself. Look up her name, Melissa Hodgman, and see. Peter Strzok is an important part of this because if you remember, not only did he investigate the whole Russia thing, he was also coming out strongly against President Trump and his Ukraine stance. You see what I'm saying? All this is interconnected. So his wife is in charge of investigating FTX, which was in bed with Ukraine. See? Anyway, check it out. This is all connected. They're all criminals. They all work together. And this is why they're doing everything in their power to stop President Trump. So please stop buying the BS that President Trump is done, that President Trump should no longer be supported. This is why. And I just want to lead that into one more thing before I go. Everyone's talking about Ron DeSantis. And again, I like Ron DeSantis. I like what he's done. But be aware of all the people who are suddenly backing Ron DeSantis. A lot of them are involved in this FTX scam. So the question is this. Will Ron DeSantis distance himself from these people, or will he accept these criminals backing him? So this is all what you all have to decide when it all comes down to it. Do you want a guy who's backed by the criminal element of our government, or do you want a guy who's going to go in there with revenge in his mind and go after these criminals and get them all? Anyway, thanks for watching. This is something we all have to think about, what's going on in this next cycle when we go out and we do our own forms of ballot harvesting, because we're going to learn how to do that. Trust me, we're going to use and we're going to fight fire with fire. We're going to use the same tactics as these Democrats, and we're going to win the next election. I promise you. Stay involved, get involved, and let's make America great again. I'll talk to you soon.